All right, welcome to today's webinar. Thank you so much for joining me here live. If you're catching the live stream, thank you so much again, for being here. Looking forward to serving you today and giving lots of value and lots of impact all around buying an online business, which can literally be life-changing considering your circumstances. And everybody's got, a different reason, different goal. But if you're looking for an opportunity to step into a business that's already successful, established, can give you cash flow on day one, can give you an additional income, can give you a replacement income, can give you an additional asset for you to be able to build wealth from, well, this is the right place to be. So, congratulations on making that step and taking action and being here today. So before we dive in, I'm going to wait just a few minutes before I dive into the content for today. Let me know what city and what state that you're joining me from, just here in the comments, and then we'll dive into the content that I have prepped for today as well. All right, New York, New York. All right, yeah, Ben, thank you for being here from New York. I love New York, one of my favorite cities. Uh, Nick from Miami, Florida, amazing. Yeah, I've been to Miami quite a bit over the last year and a half now. Definitely love the city. Great network down there. Great weather too. You gotta love it. And then we got. It looks like we've got Reese from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Well, that's a first. I've never had anybody from Chattanooga on my webinar. So, okay, cool. That's great. And then we've got Nikolai from Texas. Love Texas. Grew up in Texas. So I've got lots of great memories in Texas. So it's great to see you here, Nick. Thank you so much for being here. Pernille from Sacramento. Thank you, Pernille, for being here. Love to see you in here as well. We've got Jenny from Knoxville, Tennessee. I've heard great things about Tennessee. I've never been, but I've heard great things about Tennessee. And then we've got Zach from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. So amazing. Midwest, the Midwest, they just have those they're really good at just grinding and just putting in the extra hours and working. They've just got very good blue collar values. I've noticed that with anybody from the Midwest. So Zach, I'm sure you've got that as well. And then we've got Lauren from Boise, Idaho. All right, we've got a bunch of others, it looks like, too. But anyway, those are some of the people. So thank you, again, for being here. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let me know. Just give me a thumbs up when you can see it. I just want to make sure everybody can see my screen loud and clear here. And that also my audio is coming in clearly as well. So here we go. All right, boom. Okay, can you guys see my screen? Let me know. Can you see my screen? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, I've got some thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Another one. Awesome. Good. Okay, cool. All right, guys. Well, let's dive in. Okay, guys. So on today's webinar, we're going to go over how to buy a cash flowing online business in the next few months without starting from scratch or risking your life savings. So welcome to today's webinar. Before we begin, shut down any distractions. This way you're present. This way you get lots of value, lots of impact from today. This way you could ask questions. You could learn a lot as well. Turn off your phone notifications. Push your phone away. Put it upside down even. Close those extra browser tabs. Be focused on this and give this your full attention for about the next, it's usually about 60, 75 minutes, not 90 minutes. This is what you'll be shown today. You'll be shown how to buy a cash flowing online business even with no experience, limited capital, and no deal pipeline. This will take you from 0 deals to owning a cash flowing online business in 4 months or less. No experience required. Creative financing is available. And also, it's going to be following a proven evaluation framework. And this is from your real experience here. I mean, these are portfolio screenshots of our companies. And as you can see, if you total the amount that you can see here on screen, there's literally over 30 million in sales from our businesses that we own, from businesses we bought since 2022. So this is from real revenue, real businesses, the experience that we have when it comes to buying businesses, managing businesses, growing businesses. This process you're about to learn to help you buy an online business, it comes from real experience. This isn't something that we're just teaching. This is something we're actually doing day in, day out. So the proof is real. You saw the screenshots. We went over the revenue. We've done deals. We've gotten results. Now imagine what could happen to your portfolio if you had the same exact system that I use, but simplified and structured so anyone can follow it. So stay until the end. I've got something very special that's going to make this even easier for you. All right, let's dive in. So who am I? Who's Josh Marsden? Well, I've acquired 19 online businesses since 2022. These are e-commerce businesses, Shopify, Amazon, direct to consumer brands. I've had over 30 million in online sales since 2022. This isn't revenue for clients. This isn't managed advertising spend. This is my own portfolio. This is my own sales. And I've also raised 8.2 million since 2022 to acquire and scale online business assets. I've also made the Inc. 5000 twice now over the last 2 years because of the success that my company and I have had. But here's what matters most. It's not just about my results, it's about whether this system works for other people too. So multiple students have closed deals working with us. These are regular people who followed the ARM5 process and bought their first online business. So it's not about me being special, it's about the system being special. And today I'm going to literally hand you this system. It proves that this isn't about me being special, it's about the system being special. Okay, so here are some real student results. This way you don't just take my word for it. I want you to see some real stories from people just like you. And so to do that, I am going to pull up a YouTube link, and then I'm going to share my screen so this way you guys can check out this video. Give me 2 seconds here, and then this way you guys can see what I'm talking about. But there's been some lives that have been changed by buying businesses. Let me show you Jason.
So I want to share with you a...
Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to share this tab. Okay, and then let me know, give me a thumbs up when you guys hear the video. I just want to make sure everybody can hear it clearly. I'm going to put it on full screen, and here we go.
Another case study that we just had in the acquisition method. Let me tell you about Jason before I show you a video from him. So Jason, he joined the acquisition method, the done for you tier, because he wanted to get out of his career in auto sales. He had been in auto sales for decades. He had voiced that it had caused strains on his relationship with his ex, which led to a divorce, unfortunately. And it also led to strains in his relationship with his daughters, and he wanted to be closer to his daughters. He wanted to basically buy back his time. And he knew that if he stayed in his auto sales career, that he would be stuck, he would be at the whims of an employer, and he would have to continue to work 6, maybe even 7 days a week. He was making great money, but money's not everything. Time is everything. And connecting with the people that you love and valuing those relationships, that's key, because that's what you remember at the end of your life, in my opinion. So here, watch this video from Jason, because I would love to see you go through a similar transformation to break out of the rat race and to see success from buying an online business with our help. So watch this video from Jason.
Hi, I'm Jason Decker, and I am the owner of This Silly Girl's Kitchen, where I got the help from Team ARM5, and I am incredibly grateful I did. I was your typical rat race guy working in automotive for 26 years, a couple days off a month, not spending time with family. Every story you can dream up was pretty much the life I was living. And I just decided there had to be another way. So with the team at ARM5's help, I was able to buy my first business. And it literally took 4 months for when I started till me finalizing the documents on my asset purchase order. And I'll tell you this, I got a Harvard education on what it takes to buy a business. I got a Harvard education on the legalese, and it's a lot of work. So if you don't plan to do work and you think that's just a layup, well, that's not it. But the good part is you have the freedom over your time and your success. And that's what this system helped provide me with. I did the work, and am doing the work and will continue to do the work because I want the company to have massive success. But at the end of the day, I really have to thank the guys from ARM5 because They helped me out tremendously. They held my hand along the way, which is exactly what I needed. And I'm grateful I made the decision I did to join ARM5. So thanks, Josh, and especially thanks to Jeff, because he was absolutely outstanding, holding my hand through this, teaching me as much as he did. He was not only has become a friend, he's become a mentor, and I am incredibly blessed to have both Josh and Jeff in my life. Thanks.
All right, let me go ahead and switch back real quick, guys. All right, coming back. Okay, all right, guys. So you heard from Jason, the real guy, went through the program, no background owning a business, had been working in auto sales. He was making really good money too, but he wasn't necessarily happy. He was grinding, like many of you probably, and he also had been sacrificing a lot. And you just heard how working with us, buying a business, literally changed his life. And now he's literally spending so much time with his daughters, which is, giving him so much more fulfillment than what he was doing before. And he's accomplishing his vision for himself. So here's the typical ROI breakdown. Now, this is the typical breakdown for a first-time acquirer of businesses working with us in our program, the acquisition method. So let's just say that you come into the program, the average business is 150,000, okay, or more. And this is a brand doing 50,000 a month in revenue and about 15,000 per month in profit. And this is just an example. There's plenty of businesses that are more expensive. This is just an example. And a business like this that's doing about 50,000 a month in revenue, which is about 600,000 a year in revenue, you're going to spend maybe up to 20% max on the down payment. Okay. And you can get the down payment fully financed through one of our lending partners, or if you have cash to deploy that you want to get working, which, you never want to sit on cash, then you could always use that too. But you can literally just use a lending partner, cover the entire down payment, very simply, very quickly, very easily. This way you're not spending any of your own money out of your own pocket. Then the rest is on a seller financing or an earnout. Even better, earnout is where you're making payments to the previous owner of the business based on the performance of the business from the previous month. So every single month, the business has to hit certain criteria for you to be able to make a payment to the previous owner. So it's a good shared risk approach to have a lot of that baked into the offer. And then the monthly profit after acquisition is 10,000 to 15,000 per month after acquisition. This is immediate cash flow from day one of ownership, which is literally recouping your investment into the acquisition method program to work with us. And then now you have a business that's doing 180,000 in annual profit. And that's an annual income stream that's more than most jobs out there. And then on top of that too, we're going to continue to work with you. We're going to help you scale it. And let's just say we help you even double it. Now it's doing 30,000 a month in profit. And we also really help you work on the business. This way the business has all the attractive characteristics that a buyer looks for. And so we're able to get a better multiple on it than what you paid for when you bought the business. And now the business is at a 3.5x multiple. And so if you were to do the math off of that, that's 180,000 per year. 360,000 per year in profit. And then times 3.5, now you have a business that's worth 1.26 million that we can then help you sell. And that's life-changing money. If you were to sell a business and get, let's just say 60 to 80% of that, okay? The rest of it would be probably over like a 6-month, 12-month period, for example, depending on the buyer and depending on our ability to get a deal done. But either way, that's life-changing money. That's nearly 7 figures, and you might get 7 figures from the sale of the business in the next 24 months, okay? So that's the typical ROI breakdown for anybody that comes into our program, works with us, even with no business experience, even with no online business experience, no e-com experience, no marketing experience, coming into the program, buying a business, stepping into a business that's already generating cash flow, and then working with us to double the business or more. Now they have a much more valuable asset that they can truly benefit from, that can literally change their life when the business sells. And right now is an incredible opportunity to take advantage of this. There's literally over 1 million boomer-owned businesses that are expected to sell by 2035. And 48% of boomer owners plan to exit within 3 years. So there's 10 trillion in private business assets coming to market right now. This is called the silver tsunami. It's happening right now. Okay, there's lots of baby boomers that are going to be selling their business or already have started to sell their business. So here's a snapshot of my portfolio. So I focus on e-commerce brands, online companies, Shopify, Amazon, direct to consumer. And these were all acquired using the exact same 5-step system I'm about to share with you today. And each business was acquired with creative financing. Okay. Like for example, the last business we bought was doing 5.3 million a year, and we only paid 212,000 on a down payment. Okay. And we bought smaller businesses, but that's like one of the biggest businesses we bought, and that was the down payment, for example. So we're really good at creative financing, offer stacking, making sure that we're getting a deal done that has a shared risk approach that reduces the amount of money that we need to put down to buy the business. And we're really good at also leveraging different ways to cover the down payment versus us just coming out of our own pocket for that down payment. So most of these acquisitions we've been through over the last several years now have been acquired with little to no money out of pocket, and all are managed with lean teams and proven systems, especially with AI today. And these aren't outliers. These are normal people who followed the system and got results. Every single one started exactly where you are today. So who is this for? So we've identified that this really benefits a certain, some very specific people. For one, this benefits professionals and career changers. You want to own a cash flowing online business without years of trial and error, and you're ready for a new path. You want to get out of the rat race. You don't want to have that ceiling. You don't want to have to deal with a boss or bosses even. That's why. And you want also freedom. You want freedom. You don't want to have to sit in a cubicle. You don't want to have to drive to work every day. That's an hour there, hour back, wasting 2 hours every day, 10 hours a week. You don't want to do that anymore. This is for you. Or investors seeking better returns. You're tired of 7% stock market returns, and you want the 30 to 50% returns possible in online business. And the great thing too, going back to this point with online business, is it's an online business, okay? There's no limitation on capacity when it comes to how many people can buy from you every single day. You can scale to millions of people in the United States alone. You could scale to other countries and add millions of people. You can scale very rapidly too. So this is an asset that can really grow and give you a increased ROI over time, unlike other assets. Or you're an entrepreneur who just wants to skip the startup phase, and I don't blame you. You don't want to spend 2 to 3 years building something from scratch. You want to buy something that already works. That's the smart way to become an entrepreneur. It's hard to start a business. It's hard to get the marketing going. It's hard to build a team over time. I've done it, I know, and this is definitely the smarter path to step into success. And also on top of that, this is for coachable action takers. You have capital to deploy or are willing to explore creative financing, and you're ready to follow a proven process. Now, this is not for everyone though, okay? This isn't for get rich quick seekers. If you're looking for overnight money with zero effort, this isn't it. Buying a business is real work. You're not willing to do the due diligence. If you're not willing to invest time in learning and evaluating deals, this won't help you. Want passive income with zero involvement. If you want to flip businesses with zero involvement or aren't willing to follow a systematic step-by-step process, this isn't for you, okay? All right, so here's your commitment. I need 3 things from you before we go any further. Number 1, keep an open mind. Some of this might seem too good to be true. Creative financing, buying with little to no money down, but I promise you, trust the process until you see the math, all right? Number 2, be ready to take action, not tomorrow, not next week, today, because the difference between success and failure is speed of implementation. Money loves speed, okay? Money loves speed. Taking action will get you to your goal, basically. Number 3, be open to getting help. If what I show you makes sense, be open to investing in yourself. I'll show you how you can work with me directly. Okay, so with that said, put yes in the comments here if you agree with those 3 commitments, and this way we can move forward. I want to make sure you guys are all with me on this. All right, thank you. Thank you. Awesome. Okay, cool. All right, let's get real. So you might be thinking, Josh, you've bought 19 businesses and you've done over 30 million in sales since 2022. You must be some kind of genius, and I'm not. So where I started. I didn't come from money. I grew up a military brat, and we didn't have a whole lot of money growing up, and and then after my dad got out of the military, there was a stretch of time there where we struggled, to be quite honest, and so I didn't come from money at all. I didn't have connections in the business world, and I started with nothing but a willingness to learn and take massive action. And my first business purchase, it wasn't glamorous. I made mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes in my first sets of business purchases in 2022. I learned a lot from that has then helped us really optimize our step-by-step due diligence and buying process. I mean, I overpaid. I didn't know what due diligence really meant back then, but I learned, because that's what you do as an entrepreneur is you fail forward. The difference between a wannabe-preneur and an actual entrepreneur is an entrepreneur isn't afraid to fail. And failing is a good thing because a failure is just a lesson. That's all it is. And that's what buying businesses was for us back in 2022. Okay. And that experience became the foundation for everything that came after. But once I found the right process, everything changed. I developed a systematic approach to evaluating, financing, and transitioning into online businesses. And that first painful experience turned into a repeatable system. And then I did it again and again and again. And since then, like I said, we've purchased 19 businesses. We've had over 30 million in online sales since 2022. And we've made the Inc. 5000 twice over the last 2 years. Feel free to go to Inc.'s website and look up ARM5 formula. Okay. So I didn't have any advantages you don't have. In fact, you have a massive advantage that I didn't when I started. You have someone who's already made the mistakes and has built the system for you to protect you from those mistakes. Success in business acquisition is not about being the smartest person in the room. It's about having the right system and taking action fast. So here's the big picture, right? Let's start with the full map. I want you to see the big picture before we zoom into each piece. So what ARM5 actually stands for. So ARM is the marketing engine that makes these businesses valuable. The 5 profit amplifiers are the levers you pull post-acquisition to multiply growth. So you've got A, which stands for authority. You're buying a business that already has trust and credibility. It's established. R is reciprocity. The audience wants to buy. They keep coming back because they keep seeing value. M, monetization. The revenue engine is already running, and you can maximize that with follow-up marketing. And then 5, profit amplifiers. You've got retention, conversion, pricing, efficiency, and traffic. You can pull different levers to be able to grow the business in a short period of time and also to improve the business long-term as well. And then the acquisition method it comes down to these 5 steps. Number 1, evaluate. Find deals worth buying using proven criteria. Number 2, finance. Structure creative deals with little to no money down. Number 3, transition. Take ownership without disrupting the business. 4, optimize. Apply the 5 profit amplifiers to grow value. And then 5, scale. Build a portfolio of cash flowing assets. So it's a bit of a counterintuitive approach. Most people think you need years of experience or millions in capital and a huge network. But the truth, you need a proven system, the right guidance, and the willingness to take action. You don't need money to buy a business, okay? You just need to take action. You need to have the right mindset, a very open, abundant mindset, not a scarcity, fearful mindset. And you don't need the network. You don't need, millions in capital, none of that. You don't need experience either when you have people you can lean on throughout the process. And here's what makes this different. Most programs teach theory. Now I give you a step-by-step system. So other approaches could be like they hand you a book and say, hey, here's how you're going to learn how to buy a business. And you have to read a book. I have a few of these books over here in my bookcase, okay? I mean, it's going to take some time to go through that book and to understand it and then to apply it. Or they say figure it out yourself. Or it's theory-based, generic advice, and you're just on your own. Okay, those are other approaches out there. Now, the ARM5 system, we put you in the passenger seat right next to us, and we just turn on the GPS and we just follow the map. And we say, follow my lead every step of the way, and we'll have you closing deals in months. And I'm not teaching from theory. I've personally bought 19 online businesses. I've had over 30 million in online sales since 2022 alone, not counting the first 9 years in business. And you're learning from someone who does this every single day. So you see real deals, real numbers. I'm not just going to tell you what to do. I'm going to show you real deal structures, real profit and loss statements, and real evaluation frameworks from my actual portfolio. And creative financing literally changes everything. The parts that used to require hundreds of thousands in cash are now possible with creative financing structures. For example, these are the ones that are most common: seller financing, earnouts, but there's other creative deal structures on top of that too. And this is also designed for first-time buyers, not people who already own a portfolio, not people with M&A experience, mergers and acquisition experience, people buying their first online business. So why now? So we're in the middle of the greatest wealth transfer in history, literally. Like, look it up. We are in the middle of the greatest wealth transfer in history. Middle class is unfortunately shrinking. And cash is either going upstream to the people that take action, or, or people are going to be struggling, unfortunately. I mean, that's just the way right now. That's what's happening in the world. Unfortunately, that's trending right now. And as you can tell by my voice, I don't like talking about it because a lot of people are affected by it. A lot of people that I care about are affected by that. But right now, though, baby boomers, they own millions of businesses. And as they retire, they need to sell. And this is creating the largest wave of business transfers we've ever seen. And right now, too, the e-commerce market is massive. The e-commerce market is also growing every single year and has been, and it's projected to grow significantly over the next 5+ years. But currently, it's already a $6.8 trillion market. It's a massive growing market. And there's businesses changing hands right now every single year. And there's literally 70,000 or more online businesses right now listed for sale. And that's at any given time too. It's not just now. I mean, this moment won't disappear tomorrow, for example. There's going to be businesses for sale over the next 12 months. And that's just because the fact that we are in the middle of just a baby boomer selling their businesses, and more businesses being listed for sale every single day. So before, you had the traditional path. You could start from scratch. It would take you 2 to 3 years to have some success, but a lot of people unfortunately fail. There's about a 90% failure rate for startups. You could spend $50,000 to $200,000 building the business, maybe even more, and there could be no revenue for months, which is very hard to do. Like, I just talked to someone a week ago that recently became independent underneath like a Farmers Insurance or some company like that, and he's struggling. He hasn't made any sales over the last few months, and he's it's a tough road to start up a business following the traditional path, which is what he's done. But see, the ARM5 method, you could buy an existing business within weeks, within just the next few months. You have proven revenue from day one. So you don't have to go through that startup struggle. You just step into a business that's already successful, already generating cash. Much easier position to be in. And also on top of that too, creative financing. It only requires little, maybe even no money down. There's ways to structure deals. There's ways to sell a seller on doing a deal that has a shared risk approach that reduces the cash needed on day one. Plus, if there is any cash needed on day one, there's ways to get that cash that doesn't affect your personal credit either. So there's ways to be able to get a deal done, okay? And like I said before, you step into cash flow right away, immediately on day one of ownership. So the window is open right now. The opportunity literally exists right now, and seller financing is common. The market is still fragmented, but institutional money is starting to wake up to online business assets. But you can't do it alone. Without the right process, the right evaluation framework, the right deal structures, the right transition path, you could end up buying a lemon or losing your deposit. So it's best to follow a proven process and have expert support. With 19 acquisitions over the last few years, I've compressed it into a system that anyone can follow step by step. That's what makes right now the best time in history to buy your first online business. Plus, on top of that, if you just look around the world and see what's happening in the world right now, you want to fortify your situation. You don't want to depend on companies. Companies can replace you with AI overnight. We're doing that right now in our online businesses because we'd be irresponsible if we didn't. You also have lots of other things happening in the world right now that's causing inflation, for example, which is making it even more expensive to live. And so, if anything, in my opinion, everybody needs to take action on something like this to fortify their situation, strengthen it, hedge against the things that are happening right now. So this way, you're not at the whims of things outside of your control. You're instead taking action and fortifying, strengthening your situation. If you have a family, you should absolutely be doing this. If you're on your own, yeah, I mean, you should still fortify your situation, okay? And today I'm sharing my 3 biggest secrets to buying cash flowing online businesses. I'm going to walk you through each one step by step. So let's start with the first, okay? Now here's a quote I like to use before I kick things off on the secrets. I didn't invent business buying, I just systematized it so anyone, regardless of experience or capital, can do it safely and profitably. So here's number 1, the evaluation methodology. So secret number 1, you don't need to find the deal. You need to know which deals are worth buying, okay? And most people are stuck in which deal mode. They're trying to find like the needle in a haystack. They're trying to find the perfect situation. And they spend weeks scrolling marketplaces, looking at hundreds of listings, falling in love with ideas instead of numbers. They're trying to find that passion business instead of being a smart investor, smart owner, smart acquirer of a business, finding a good business. And they either buy the wrong business or they never buy at all. And what people think is, I need to find the perfect deal. I need to look at hundreds of listings. I need months of research, and I need years of M&A experience before I take the plunge. Okay. Well, keep waiting then, if that's you. The truth, you need a proven evaluation framework. The right system filters in minutes, and due diligence follows a checklist. And literally the math, when you're evaluating a business, it tells you everything. So the ARM5 evaluation framework, step 1 is we want to look at, is the profit real? So we check the profit and loss statement over the last 12 months, month by month, not a total, month by month. We want to see what the cash flow picture looks like. We want to see what the trends are in the business. Is the business stable? Is it growing ideally? Is it declining? How sharply is it declining? Those are things we need to look at. Step 2, assess stability. Is the revenue consistent? Or is it volatile? Is it a seasonal business or is it a steady business? Is it a business that only capitalizes on the holidays? Or is it a business that actually has a good marketing system that's generating cash flow consistently all year? We also want to evaluate sustainability. Will this business exist in 2 years? Is it still relevant in 2 years? Is it an apparel brand that is on the downward decline right now and was trendy at one point? Or is it a business that could help you prevent COVID and COVID is not relevant anymore? Well, that's what you need to, evaluate. And also we need to test scalability. Can you grow it with the 5 profit amplifiers? Is there ample opportunity in that market to grow? So SDE, the number that matters most, if you don't know what this means, it means seller discretionary earnings. It's the true profit after all owner benefits. So it's the profit from the business and then the owner income and any other benefits the owner reaps by being the owner is added back into the cash flow picture for the last 12 months. So this way you can see what the true profit will be that you're stepping into. But if the owner works 80 hours a week and funds ads on personal credit cards, that's not a business. It's a job. Okay. So it's something to look out for. Here's one of our clients. He said, I joined the ARM5 Formula program with 0 money and learned how to evaluate e-commerce businesses. I've now acquired my first business doing over 1.2 million per year and 350,000 a year in profit as well. And that's Dirk Luttrell. So see how simple that is. No fancy degree required. Just follow the framework, check the numbers, and the math tells you whether to move forward or whether to walk away. And 3 out of 4 deals I passed on using this exact framework. Knowing what to say no to is just as important as knowing what to buy. And this framework does both. So without a system, you could end up using emotions to make decisions. You make a decision based on a gut feel. That's not good. You want to be logical. Overpaying because you don't know the real value. You don't know how to really evaluate a business and you don't know what the markets are right now, you don't know what the proper multiple should be for that business based on the characteristics of that business, you're just like, oh, this business is listed for that, that's the price. Maybe it's not, because if you do due diligence and you do evaluation of the business, you'll find that maybe that business is not worth what they're trying to get for it, and you could talk them down quite a bit. Missing hidden liabilities until it's too late. If you don't know what to look for, well, then you're going to ignore and you're going to have lots of blind spots, and then you're going to step into a potential problem. And that's not a good situation to be in. Or you could have months of wasted time on dead end deals. Okay. Now, with the ARM5 framework, you use data-driven scoring in under 30 minutes to score a business that you're evaluating. You know the exact fair market value before you offer, because we have evaluation frameworks, plus you have us to lean on, so we can help you be able to price a business properly. We also will help you with red flags, because they'll surface automatically in the due diligence process, because our process gets those to surface up. Plus, we're helping you every step of the way as well. And then also, you only spend time on deals that pass the filter. That's important. You definitely don't want to spend time on deals that don't make sense. You want to spend time on the right deals, and we help you do that. Number 2, creative financing. Okay, so this is secret number 2. You can buy an online business with little to no money down. This is probably the biggest secret that really demystifies the idea of buying a business. Because even when I was growing up, I thought you needed a lot of money to start a business. And now that I've been buying businesses and I've had different acquisitions around me, and I've helped clients even buy businesses, I now know, because of my own experience for the last several years, that you don't need money to buy a business. You just need to know how to buy a business with no money. That's it. Okay. So most people think you need hundreds of thousands in cash. They assume business buying is only for the wealthy, for people with millions in the bank, for Wall Street types. And that's the biggest myth in this industry. See, people think I need 500,000 or more in cash. I need a ton of cash saved. I'm working towards buying a business 10 years from now, 20 years from now. That's why I'm saving this much money every single month, so I can eventually buy a business. Eventually? Well, good luck. I need perfect credit and an SBA loan. Okay. You don't need perfect credit. You do need good credit to have as much leverage as possible. Although you could buy a business with bad credit, it's possible, but you definitely want to have options. And you have more options when you have good credit, 620 plus, ideally. And some people think too, you need an SBA loan. Well, I don't recommend that you get an SBA loan and buy a business with an SBA loan unless you're an experienced business buyer. Your first business should not be on an SBA loan, because there's lots of liability. When you take out an SBA loan, you have to put down a personal guarantee. You also have to put down, I think, about 10, 12% of the value of the loan. Plus, when you say, I'm going to use an SBA loan to pay for company A, well, now company A, they're going to get almost full price for their business, and they have leverage over you because of the fact that you're telling them, I'm going to get an SBA loan, which means that I have the capital means to pay near full price. And you don't want to buy your first business where you put all the risk on yourself. Banks are the only option. Okay, banks are not the only option. Or I can't afford to buy a business. That's just self-limiting. It's a self-limiting mindset. You have to think with more abundance, and that's something you need to work on if that's you. That's what people think typically, but the truth is that creative financing changes everything. There's so many different ways to structure deals to buy a business. And seller financing aligns incentives. And that's just one form of creative financing, but it aligns incentives, meaning that it shares the risk. The seller is now invested in your success with the business, okay? And many deals, they need little to no money down, okay? There's a bit of an art to it. There's a bit of a finesse to it. There's some salesmanship. You also have to be able to do a risk assessment on the business. This way you can take a risk, a position that includes you leveraging that risk in the deal when you're negotiating the deal. There's a process to it, but it's totally doable. If you're willing to learn, you can do it too, okay? And the business pays for itself. That's the truth. The truth is the business pays for itself. So it doesn't require an SBA loan, doesn't require a lot of liability, doesn't require a lot of money out of your own pocket on day one. The business pays for the deal. That's the way to get a good deal done, especially if you're a first-time acquirer, okay? Now, why I choose seller financing over SBA loans? So because for one, the speed. You can close in weeks, not months of bank bureaucracy. SBA loans can take 3 to 5 months. And then you got to keep a seller engaged, committed. They'll probably get another offer during that time and they'll sell it to someone else. You just lost a deal. Okay. Or they'll just be like, oh, okay. And they'll forget about the business because they think the business is going to be sold in 3 to 5 months. And then those 3 to 5 months, the business then suffers. And then you end up closing the business in a suffered state. And that's not a good situation to be in. Or flexibility, custom terms that work for both parties. Okay. Again, you always want to aim for a shared risk approach. Alignment, the seller stays invested in your success. They get paid as you succeed. That's the way to do it. Okay. Accessibility, no massive down payments, no personal collateral requirements. You should not be putting all that risk into your first time buying a business. Okay. And here's how seller financing works. The seller acts as the bank. You make installment payments over time instead of paying up front. The seller stays aligned with your success, and it's a win-win. Most beginners never negotiate. Here's from Jason Decker, one of our clients. I spent 26 years working in automotive, stuck in the rat race and barely seeing my family. With the help of the ARM5 team, I was able to buy my first business in about 4 months. So see how accessible that is? No $1 million bank account required, no lengthy SBA loan process, just a smart deal structure that works for everyone involved. And I spent this much, $0 out of pocket on my first seller finance acquisition. It was 100% seller finance. I still remember it. Paid back entirely from the business's own profits over 24 months. So traditional buying is I need $100,000 to $500,000, maybe even more in savings, or I need an SBA loan. I need to do 6 to 12 months of bank paperwork. I also need to use a personal guarantee, and I might even have to put my house on the line as well because I might have to put collateral in the deal. And banks, they say no to 80% of online businesses too. So you're stuck with boring brick and mortar businesses that have limited upside and low multiples, so you really can't create a whole lot of wealth out of that in a short period of time. I don't know how that sounds, but it doesn't sound good to me. Creative financing, okay? This is the way it can be for you. You can start with little to no money out of pocket. You can close in 30 to 60 days with seller financing. The business profits pay the acquisition costs. That's the way to structure it. And it works for any online business model, okay? Okay, so here's number 3, the ownership transition. So secret number 3 is closing the deal is just the beginning. How to transition into ownership without disrupting the business, that's key. See, most people think the work is done once you sign the papers. They celebrate closing day and then wake up the next morning wondering, what do I do now? And the first 90 days are the most dangerous days. The first 90 days after a business purchase or when value is possibly lost. And bad transitions, they can destroy good businesses. So without a transition plan, key staff can leave in confusion. Customers experience disruption. You're scrambling to figure out operations, and revenue drops as chaos increases. Now with the ARM5 transition system, existing team stays in place with clear defined roles. Customers notice that nothing changes. There's SOPs, which are standard operating procedures. These are standard processes that different people and team members follow and the business follows. And there's standard SOPs and standard reporting from day one. Whether they're used to it or not, we install it. And revenue continues and it grows. Okay, that's with the ARM5 transition system versus without a transition plan. And the 3 pillars of a successful transition are, number 1, staffing. Keep the existing team. Document roles. Establish clear communication. Number 2, reporting. Set up weekly dashboards and KPIs, that's key performance indicators, from day one. Know your numbers. Number 3, rhythm. Establish the operating rhythm of the business. Weekly reviews, monthly goals, quarterly planning. Create a performance-driven culture on day one, okay? Get the buy-in of the staff on day one. Make sure that the staff knows what to expect from you on day one. That's the key, okay? Now, how I transition into a new business, week one is team meetings where you meet every employee, we understand roles, we build trust. Week two is SOP documentation, document every process, workflow, and systems. Week three, reporting setup, install dashboards, key performance indicators that everybody knows that they're responsible for, and financial tracking as well, so we can see cash in, cash out on a consistent basis. You're getting monthly reports monthly on a consistent basis. And then week four, optimization begins. And that's where you can apply the 5 profit amplifiers to grow the business. So this is how you own a portfolio, not a group of jobs. Systems over talent, reporting over guessing, rhythm over chaos. When you transition correctly, you own an asset, not another job. And this system sets you up to become an owner, not an operator, not to have another job, but to be an owner of an asset. Okay. So 90 days from closing to fully systematize ownership. On one of my acquisitions, I retained the entire team, documented every process, and grew revenue 25% all within the first quarter. So you don't have to quit your day job to buy a business, okay? This system allows you to buy a business and keep your day job if you choose. You don't have to, but if you choose. Most of my acquisitions were managed alongside other projects. The transition system is designed for busy professionals. So weeks 1 through 2, you shadow the seller and you document all systems. Weeks 3 through 4, begin managing with seller still on standby. Weeks 5 through 8, full ownership with automated reporting. And then weeks 9 and beyond, you're the owner working on the business, not in it. Okay. All right. Are you tracking along so far? Give me a thumbs up in the comments if you're tracking along so far. Okay. Just give me a thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Great. Okay, cool. All right. So each secret is powerful on its own, but together they create a seamless system for finding, financing, and transitioning into a cash flowing online business in 4 months or less. So let's recap the 3 secrets. So 3 secrets come down to this. Secret number 1, the evaluation methodology. Know which deals are worth buying. Secret number 2, creative financing. Buy with little to no money down. Secret number 3, the ownership transition. Protect your investment from day one. And that follows these 5 steps: evaluate, finance, transition, optimize, and scale. And this is from 19 businesses acquired since 2022, over 30 million in online sales since that time, and making the Inc. 5000 now twice, being nominated as one of America's fastest growing companies 2 years in a row. Okay. So let me know, did you get value out of this so far with these secrets, with everything we went over? Let me know here in the comments. And let me know too if I have your permission to share how I can help you acquire an online business in a very short amount of time and help you mitigate the risk and help you maximize the opportunity. Raise your hand if I have your permission to share. Okay, thank you, appreciate it, thank you. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, cool. Okay. So you're at a crossroads right now. What if I had, though, a proven system that walked you through every single step from finding the right deal to closing it and transitioning into ownership? Because right now you have 3 options. You have number 1, you could do nothing. You could leave this webinar, you could forget everything and keep doing what you've been doing. Keep watching YouTube, keep researching, keep telling yourself you'll buy a business someday. Okay. Number 2, you could do it yourself. You could take what you learn and try to figure it out alone. Honorable, but expect 12 to 18 months and potentially 6 figures or more in mistakes. And most people who try alone, they never close a deal. Or number 3, you could join ARM5, work with us, follow my step-by-step system, use my tools and frameworks, and buy your first online business guaranteed within 4 months or less with expert guidance every step of the way. This is the most popular option, as you can imagine. For 1, guaranteed success within 4 months or less. 2, mitigate, minimize the risk. Okay, this is a big deal. It could be life-changing, but only if you do it right. And number 3, be able to maximize the opportunity. We'll help you do that. because we'll help you find a good business and we'll also help you grow it. Okay. So there's a substantial opportunity here by going down path number 3. And here's how it works. I put together a complete system that walks you through every step of finding, evaluating, financing, and closing your first online business acquisition. Let me break it down for you. So this is called the ARM5 Formula Acquisition Method. This is the complete system to take you from 0 deals to owning a cash flowing online business in 4 months or less. And this isn't just another course. This is a high level mentorship and implementation program that covers everything from finding your first deal to closing it and setting it up to be scaled as well with expert guidance every step of the way. So for one, you get the deal analyzer and valuation models that we use. This allows you to instantly evaluate businesses with proprietary templates that we use, input metrics and see revenue trends, profit margins, and suggested offer ranges. This way you can stop overpaying for businesses. This is about a $500 value. You also get access to our due diligence vault. This is pre-built 100+ point checklist. You get financial ratio calculators and traffic analyzers to ensure comprehensive evaluation. And this is the system that's literally protected me from bad deals now for years. The value of this is at least $10,000. You also get legal contracts and deal templates. These are attorney designed purchase agreements or letter of intent agreements, and also negotiation scripts to eliminate legal guesswork. This way you don't spend $5,000 on a lawyer to draft these from scratch. The value of these is about $5,000. You also get access to our growth and optimization swipe files. These are ready to use marketing assets and SOPs, and some of these have AI agent teams, so you can have AI employees to boost performance immediately after acquisition. The exact strategies I've used to scale businesses worth millions in potential revenue. The value of this is at least $1 million because of the impact it can have on your business and your success. You also get access to our weekly coaching calls. These are live Q&A sessions with seasoned acquisition experts. You get real-time guidance on deals, due diligence, and also scaling tactics. Never make a decision alone, okay? So we're with you every single step of the way. This is about a $12,000 yearly value. You also get access to our exclusive mastermind community. This is a private community of other high performers driven just like you, where you can share deal opportunities. You can leverage partnerships with fellow driven, determined wealth builders just like you. And you also get lifetime network access. So you get to be a part of this even after you've succeeded at buying a business. You get lifetime access to everything that I just mentioned. This includes the ongoing community support, the alumni events, and also deal sharing opportunities that we only share with our private community as well. And then on top of that too, you get a personalized strategy session. So after booking, you'll get a one-on-one strategy session to map out your specific path to your first acquisition. This is customized to your capital, experience, and also your goals. This is about $1,000 value, okay? And this, again, this is from actual real experience and success over the last few years. 19 businesses acquired, over 30 million in online sales, 2-time Inc. 5000 honoree. And we've evaluated at least 1,000 deals over the last few years. So let's talk value. What people spend trying to do this on their own. Some people, they go to school, they get a master's degree in business to learn mergers and acquisitions. They spend $80,000 to $150,000 on average to get a master's degree in business where they can buy a business afterwards. Or you could hire a business broker, but by doing so, you're actually working with someone that's not really invested in your actual success. They're invested in the dollar amount that they get a sale done at because they get a percent off of that sale. So they want to maximize the sale. They want you to spend as much money as possible on day one when you go buy a business. So they're going to charge you fees, about $30,000 to $50,000 in fees, but they're also not invested in your true success. They're invested in you getting a business, but they make as much money as possible from the transaction. So they're not going to try to get you a shared risk deal. They're not going to try to mitigate the risk necessarily. They're all about just closing the deal. Okay. So that's not the best situation in my opinion. Attorney fees for deal structuring. That's going to cost you $5,000 to $15,000. One bad deal due to poor due diligence can cost you $10,000 to $100,000 or way more than that even. Okay. So the total risk without a system is 50,000 to 300,000, maybe even more than that. All right. Now, ARM5 gives you everything in one place for a fraction of what you'd spend making mistakes on your own. So the total value breakdown, as you can see here, just stacking it all up, is about $1,000,018,500. Okay, that's total real world value. But I would never charge you $1,018,500. Okay, so here's the thing: I'm not going to throw a price up on screen and ask you to buy right now. It's not how we work. Every person on this call is in a different situation, different capital, different experience, different goals. So we take a personalized approach. We actually have a cap. We only work with 7 clients every single month because we want to curate the program. We want to also dedicate ourselves to success with everybody that's in the program every single month. And so we cap it to control it. This way, we're really focusing on quality and we're focusing on success instead of focusing on quantity. Okay. So your next step, it's not a checkout page, it's a conversation, a strategy session where I personally map out a plan for your situation. I found that the people who get the best results are the ones who start with a clear plan customized to their situation. That's why the next step isn't a checkout page, it's a conversation. So again, this is everything you get when you join the acquisition method, but your next step is literally just to have a conversation with us, to book a free online business buying strategy session. This is typically a $1,000 value, but we're going to give you one 100% free. So go ahead and click the link in the chat. I'll go ahead and put in the chat for you. So this way you can jump on this. We have some spots available over the next few days. I'm sure they'll go fast though, so definitely jump on this right away. This we can get on our calendar. You can talk to us about your goals, talk to us about your situation, what you're trying to accomplish, talk to us about what your resources are, whether you have some or whether you don't. And this way we can map out a plan to help you buy an online business in the shortest period of time possible, while also minimizing the risk and maximizing the opportunity. And also, your investment is protected. Now, if you do decide to work with us, if we invite you into the program because we know we can help you and we feel like you're a good fit, we have a guarantee in every single agreement with every single client that comes into our acquisition method. This basically states that within 4 months or less, you're guaranteed to have success as long as you meet us halfway, meaning that you're showing up for the coaching calls, you're working with us every step of the way, you're coachable, you're making calls that we have scheduled to help you close deals. That's what we mean by meeting us halfway. So there's literally zero risk. You either get results or we keep working with you until you do. So you literally have nothing to lose and a cash flowing business to gain. That's actually what you have to lose if you don't take action, because you're guaranteed to have success over the next 4 months or less by taking action today. But wait, there is more. So I am giving some exclusive bonuses for people that are here live. Okay, so you made a smart decision being here live. So bonus number 1 is you get access to a business acquisition readiness scorecard. This is a self-assessment tool that scores your readiness across 5 key areas: capital, credit, time, knowledge, and mindset, and gives you a clear action plan to close any gaps before you start looking at deals. Okay. You also get bonus number 2, a first call script pack. This is exactly what to say when contacting sellers and brokers. And most beginners blow the deal in the first 5 minutes because they sound like a tire kicker. This will prevent you from sounding like a tire kicker. This script helps you sound like a sophisticated buyer right away. This way you have the best possible chance to be able to engage with the seller or the broker and be able to close that deal as well. And then bonus number 3, The Tax Navigator by my friend Garrett Gunderson. He's a New York Times best-selling author. He's published multiple books in finance. And this is a complete guide to legal tax strategies for business owners, covering entity structuring, deductions, and keeping more of what you earn. Because it's not just about buying cash flow, it's about keeping it, okay? And again, this is a massive opportunity and the time is right to take advantage of this. There's 6 million small businesses right now changing hands as boomers retire. And 48% of boomers plan on retiring over the next 3 years. And there's $5 trillion in private business assets right now entering the market. So I built this system because I was tired of watching good people lose money on bad deals. Every tool, every template, every framework in ARM5 exists because I needed it myself first. And if all these people are getting results that we went over today, isn't it possible you can too? Of course it is. And the big one, if you're one of the first people who booked during this training, you'll get my Golden Goose bonus here, which is a personal deal review. So for the next 5 people who book their session after you sign up for the program, I'll personally hop on a call with you to review your first target deal in detail. This way you get my personal eyes on the purchase, and I'm going to give you insights that others can't, because I've done over 30 million in online sales over the last 4 years alone. I've had 19 business purchases over the last 4 years. I'll help other clients in our community buy businesses too. So you'll get this for booking and starting in our program. So that's an incredible bonus. Definitely take advantage of it. I'll personally review your deal in detail, give you a plan, help you set up the next steps for success as well. So go ahead and click the link in the chat to book now, book your strategy session immediately. And I'll stop here and I'll see what questions you guys have for me as we close out today's webinar. All right, awesome. Thank you for the comments. Great information so far. Appreciate it. Makes sense. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Okay, what questions you guys have for me? Let me know here in the comments and we'll go through these questions one by one. And I'm going to get a sip of water so I can actually talk. All right, guys, any questions? Don't be shy. Take advantage of the opportunity, get some feedback, get some clarity. Put your questions in the comments. All right. Going once. Going twice. All right. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining me here. Oh, here's a question. Okay. What surprised you the most when you started buying businesses? It's kind of a very broad question. Very broad question, Nikolai. What surprise? I'm gonna have to really think about that. I'm gonna come back to that question. Here's a question from Pernille. What support is available while going through the program? Like if we needed help analyzing the deal? Well, yeah, I mean, just ask us to analyze the deal and put it in the Facebook group. We shoot a Loom video, or maybe a few, even if it takes a few. I just did one literally like 2 days ago for one of our clients, and shot about 10 minutes of feedback. Or you can come to the live coaching call, which is every Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. It's typically right now, but we had to move it. It's actually here in about 30 minutes today. But typically I do these webinars middle of the day, not end of the day, but my schedule was pretty packed, so we had no choice but to kind of move things around. But you can come to that live coaching call, bring the deal that you're reviewing, and bring the vetting questionnaire, bring the risk assessment matrix, bring the profit and loss statement month by month in spreadsheet form for the last 12 months. That's what I always tell everybody in the community to bring, is those 3 things, and then we can really deep dive and we can go through it. If you have access to analytics of Shopify, Facebook, Google, etc., we can also go through that too. This way I can see what's working, what isn't, and give you some good feedback on whether they're doing really good marketing, whether they have a really good marketing system. So this way I can tell you if it's a good business overall. So we're with you every step of the way, and you can use us between the coaching calls in the Facebook group, or you can come to the coaching call and get our hands-on help too. So Pernille, thank you for that question. I appreciate it. Haris, how do you finance deals creatively on buying a business? That's great. So this is a really good question. So the key is, for one, you've got to do some really good due diligence, and our process is very rigorous. So this way we're doing really good due diligence every time, and our clients are as well. And the reason why I start with that is because that allows you to create leverage in the process, in the conversations, when you negotiate the deal that you want to get done. Okay, so that's number one. That's the first thing you need to do. And then number two, you just need to know how to structure those deals and how to value a business properly, and also how to get a down payment covered using a few different structures. Like you can do deferred down payments where you defer the down payment over the first 4 months. So you just have to do the projections, which we have an AI we give you access to that does the projections for you against the deal you're trying to get done. And so it'll tell you if the business can handle the offer you're wanting to close on, for example. And so it'll tell you if the business can handle a deferred down payment, for example. Or maybe it's a down payment that you can cover with a revenue-based loan against the company. And you can then go to the owner-seller, talk the owner-seller into taking a revenue-based loan out against the company. It doesn't affect him personally. It's against the company. And that will cover the down payment that you guys have agreed on. But then when you buy the business, you're buying the business with the attached loan. And now, again, you have to make sure that the business can cover the payments. And that's why you put it through our system, our AI that we've built just for this specifically. And it tells you whether it can handle the debt and still have cash flow in the business to be able to be a healthy business and also be able to grow. Okay. So that's how you can get a deal done, creatively using creative financing. If you have any questions about that, just let me know. Happy to answer more questions on that. What is a realistic amount of time commitment we can expect to put into this in order to meet the 4-month goal? This is a great question. So we have 2 different paths you can take. You can take the done with you and the done for you. The done with you, 10 to 15 hours a week. Done for you, 1 to 2 hours a week, because we're doing all the work, basically. Okay, so that's the time commitment. If you do that, guarantee you're going to have success. And then next question, is there something I can reference to see what the training program looks like step by step? Yeah, absolutely. I know how to reach you because I know you've been in our audience. You've been checking this out. I'll send you an email with an outline. So this way you can see, what the program looks like step by step. Okay. So I'll send you that. Not a problem. Looks like we just had someone book a call. Great. That's amazing. Looking forward to working with you and connecting with you. Okay. I'm going to go back to Nikolai's question earlier. What surprised you the most when you started buying businesses? Well, I mean, truthfully, operations, operations of a business. I had managed my business up to that point for, over 9 years, but it was a marketing agency, it was a different type of business. And, I learned through trial by fire, basically in my early purchases in early 2022, that it takes a lot more than just marketing. And, you've got to manage supply chain. You've got to do a constant cash flow analysis to be able to predict when you need more inventory to purchase. I mean, there's a lot of different things, when it comes to operating a business that I didn't know. So that was like, to answer your question, that was the first thing that surprised me when I first started buying businesses. Someone says, this sounds too good to be true though. Well, it's not. I mean, I've done it. Others have done it as well. So it's real. And, I would just tell you, hey, look, you got to work on your self-limiting mindset if you think it's too good to be true. Okay. You got to have more faith. You got to have more of an abundant mindset, and it's totally doable by the average person. You just have to know how to do it. And we help you do it because our system works. It's worked for us. It's worked for others. You can do it too. So I'd love to help you, but you gotta get past that fear, and really believe that this is something you can do. Okay. And I know you can. I know anybody can. All right. Any other questions, guys? So thank you for the feedback. I appreciate it. Thank you for being open to that feedback as well. So I appreciate that too. All right. Here's a question. Am I taking on too much running a business since I've never done it? Well, no, because we want to help you buy a business that becomes an asset, not a job. Okay. So that means that we're going to help you target a business that already has a staff and a leader. This way you don't have to worry about running the business if you've never run a business before. And then also on top of that too, we stay on afterwards as an advisor. And so we help you and your staff. We give them a resource that they could turn to consistently. So this way, your business leans on our experience, our expertise, our processes. This way, you have us in your corner. So it doesn't matter whether you don't have any business experience. Okay, that's not what this is for. This is not designed for someone that wants to step into buying a business and then wants to operate the business. This is really designed for someone that wants to step into a business as an owner, have it as an asset, and then we'll help you grow it over the next 12, 24 months. This way you could sell it. Good question. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. All right. Well, any other questions, guys? Put them in the comments. Happy to stay on a little bit longer to answer any questions you guys have. Just put them in the comments. Yep, no problem on the answer. No problem at all. All right, guys. Any other questions? Let me know. Let me know. Going once. Going twice. All right, all right. Well, thank you guys for being here live. I appreciate you for spending some time with me. I'm looking forward to helping some of you. I saw some of you book calls. Looking forward to getting on the phone with you, helping you with your goals, helping you buy a business here in the next few months, giving you a plan. And if you're catching the replay, thank you so much for spending some time on this replay. You made a smart decision to do that, and I'm looking forward to helping you as well. All right, guys. Well, you guys all have a great rest of your Thursday, and I will see you guys soon.